Namaskar, welcome to our yogic meditation course. Today we are on the lesson 4. So what are we going to see on this lesson 4? I'm going to talk a little bit more about mantra. I'm going to talk about the 3 qualities of mantra. The science of mantra is a very deep science, so there is not so much time to talk about it during this beginner's course, but I want to at least make you understand the importance of mantra and the mechanism how mantra works. Then we'll do our meditation, and I will continue talking about the points of yama and niyama. And today I'm going to introduce the first point of niyama, which is called shaucha. And it means cleanliness of the body and the mind. And in the end, we have our usual time for questions and answers. I want to remind you that you can ask questions by typing them on the questions window. I do look at the window from time to time during the presentation, so if you want to communicate anything with me, you can also write on that window. So let's get started with lesson 4 of our course. And as I make a point to emphasize, the course is not only theoretical, the main part of it is the practice. I would like you to experience the benefits of meditation during the course, and that's a 7-week period. And if you do your meditation very regularly during these 7 weeks, I am quite sure that you will start feeling the benefits of meditation, and that will encourage you to continue with the meditation after the course ends. Therefore, I start with a question, and it's the usual question: if you have been able to practice your meditation every day since last week, since we had the class last week. So let's see how you are doing, and I can have also an idea how the course is going by that. I'm waiting for more replies. We have reached the 63%, so I wait a little bit more. Let us reach 80% of those attending, then we can get a better idea. Almost 70%, 69%, so a few more votes. Just click there and I get the answer here. I don't get the individual answers, but I do get the percentage of who is answering what. I wait just a moment more. All right, okay, we reached 75. That's good enough for now. And here are the results. Have you practiced meditation twice a day or regularly? Have you practiced meditation regularly? 25% of you said yes, twice a day, every day. That's very nice. 25%, okay, yes, every day, at least once a day. That's also good. 42% of you said yes, almost every day, okay. And only 8% I have not practiced. It's okay, but it could be better. And I would encourage those who have not yet started twice a day, make that effort. I'm only asking you 5 minutes of meditation. It means for 5 minutes, you are going to sit down, close your eyes, and think about the mantra. It doesn't matter if you can do it well, or if it is difficult, or if you repeat the mantra not so many times, just make the effort to do it. That effort will bring the benefits. It is like you are exercising. So if you exercise daily, your muscles will build up slowly, slowly. So just make that effort. All right. That much for this one. Let me talk about the 3 qualities of a mantra. I did mention it previously, but let me go a little bit more in detail about mantra. Mantra helps the mind to concentrate. What it means? Your effort is to repeat the mantra in your mind. I know it is something in Sanskrit. It's kind of a foreign language. You may not immediately understand the meaning, but you have the meaning. Just repeat it and make the effort to understand the meaning and repeat the mantra. And that's the work for now. So the mantra will also start working as you use it. So it will help your mind to concentrate. The mind has this tendency to go towards different attractions. You will be holding it with the mantra. It means you want to think about the mantra and maybe you are thinking about something you have to do in your job tomorrow or something that happened in your family today. When that happens, you divert your mind towards the mantra. So you are always remembering the mantra. And all these other thoughts, they will be trying to come, and some will come, but you let them go, keep on the mantra. So the mantra is what you use to hold your mind, to train your mind. The mind is like this wild horse trying to run in different directions, and the mantra is what you are using to hold it. So that's the first quality or characteristic of the mantra. The second one, I call it, the mantra is incantative, or what is it? It kind of enchants the mind. It means the vibration, the sound of the mantra is soothing to the mind, and the mind likes it, and the mind stays with it. That vibration is harmonious, and it kind of goes into tune with the mental vibrations. So that vibration of the mantra also is working just by you repeating it. You are just kind of repeating the mantra. It has a certain vibration, that sound. In our case, we are using the universal mantra, Baba, Nam, Kevalam. So only these words have a kind of a vibration that matches the mind. In the beginning, it might not happen immediately, but as we go on, its effect starts happening. And the next one is the mantra has an idea. It has a meaning. In our case, it is that idea of this great, this cosmic, infinite consciousness, which is so peaceful, harmonious, and serene, perfect. And if we think about it, those qualities come into our mind. So the meaning of the mantra is important. It should be a very great, very expanded meaning, so the mind also expands. The mind doesn't remain small. So that is based on the yogic principle that as you think, so you become. If you think great, you become great. If you think small, you become small. We are using the mantra to ideate on the infinite, on something without limitations. We don't want our mind to be limited. So now let's do our meditation practice with the mantra. After this short meditation practice, I'm going to give a little bit better idea how the vibration of the mantra is working in our system. The meditation that we are going to do is the meditation with the mantra Baba Nam Kevalam. It is simple. You make the effort to keep the mantra in your mind. You can just say the mantra, you can sing the mantra. In any way, you make the effort to have the mantra in your mind during the whole meditation. Knowing that the meaning of the mantra is that everything is cosmic consciousness. So that is the basic meditation. I'm going to use the guitar to do it now. It's not necessary. I just use it to make it a little bit more interesting in the class. But when you are home, you don't need it. You can just close the eyes and for 5 minutes repeat the mantra. You can even time it and keep those 5 minutes repeating the mantra and then do your other things. Okay, so now let's close our eyes. Sit on your chair or wherever you are. Make it in a way that your back is a little bit straight as far as possible, depending on your physical condition. The best position is lotus. If you can do the lotus position of yoga, that's the best. If you cannot do, you can sit on a chair, you can do any position you can. Even sick people can lie down and do the meditation. But it's better to avoid lying down because you can sleep easily. So we are sitting down, closing your eyes. And we are going to meditate with the mantra Baba Nam Kevalam. So now you are here in front of your computer, your cell phone, in a room, in a building, somewhere, in a town, in a country. And that country is on this planet, Earth, this planet of ours. You are sitting on the planet alone. And you feel that infinite consciousness is around you. And you are hearing the mantra in your mind. Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba Nam Kevalam, Baba Nam Kevalam, Baba Nam Kevalam, Baba Nam Kevalam. Bhavanam Kevalam 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 Bhavanam Kevalam. Remain in silence and continue repeating the mantra in your mind. Baba Nam Kevalam. Bhavanam Kevalam 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 Bhavanam Kevalam. And continue thinking about the mantra, the meaning. Everything is cosmic consciousness. And if you are looking for an image, you can feel that you are surrounded by a very bright light. And it warms you and makes you feel peaceful. And say in your mind, Baba Nam Kevalam. 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 Now we can come back to the place we were. Here, now, we can open our eyes. And that was our short meditation. You make the effort just to repeat the mantra, and as I mentioned, some people are more visual. You can feel that you are in a very bright light, and you can, if it's more feeling, you can feel that you're surrounded by this peaceful environment. And just make the effort to keep with the mantra. If other ideas come, just let them go, keep with the mantra. All right. So let's see how we did with this meditation. How do you feel after the meditation practice? You have 4 choices. Okay, 50%, 70%. If we could reach 80% would be nice, otherwise this is already a good representation. You just need to click on the choice and It will add to the percentage that I have here. Okay, I think we have enough for now. Can close it. Let's see the results. All right, 45%, you feel much more peaceful and relaxed than before. 27% more peaceful and relaxed than before, and 27% just a little bit more. It's all right. I think we have a good result. And let me close this one, and let me continue with the presentation. Again, I want to encourage everybody to practice it in the way that it comes. In the way it comes, you make an effort to practice it. All right. So now, okay. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the mantra itself. So this is the universal mantra, Baba Nam Kevalam. It's kind of a sentence. And I said that it means that everything is cosmic consciousness. Okay, that's an idea, which is a bit abstract. But I want also to illustrate how the mantra is working with the system of chakras. First, a brief explanation of what is a chakra. In the yoga, people talk about chakra all the time. And the main chakras are 7 in number. They are located within the spine, within the vertebral column. In different heights, let's say one is lower, higher. So as you can see in the figure, you can see a representation of these 7 chakras. What are they? To make it simple, I will call them substations of the mind. Usually people think that the mind is in the, let's say, in the head. So most people think, okay, mind is in the head. We don't think that there is much mind in the body. But there are these chakras which are substations of the mind, and they are located within the spine. Okay, so now what happens? Okay, the mantra, let me take one step back here. Let me give an illustration or an example. There are different emotions or different mental feelings that every human being experiences. Now, let's think of one of these very common feelings that every human being experiences, which is fear. We all feel fear. So fear is an emotion, is something that we feel with our mind. But it is also related to one part of the body. Okay, like when you feel fear, it relates to one part of the body. So I have a question for you. And this question I don't have in the polls, but I want you to answer it by typing in the questions window. So you will type the answer. And the question is, what part of the body do you feel fear is related to? you can see the chakras there. There are the 7 main chakras. You can also tell that it's kind of related to chakra number 1 or number 2 or number 3 or number 4, number 5, 6 or 7. Or you can just say one part of the body that you feel is very much related to fear. Let's see what is your answer. So you just type it. I'm already getting some answers here. The first answer is saying it's related to the heart. The second one is also saying, okay, many people are saying to the heart. Another person is saying to the chest, also heart. Another one, first chakra, sometimes second. Number 4, heart. Most people are saying heart. But think really, when you have fear, what part of the body gets more disturbed? Even there are expressions in different language related to that. Okay, let me see, a few more came. All right, okay. I think I got enough answers. Let me see. Most of you are saying the heart, but most of the time when we have something, a fear that is very strong, okay, somebody's saying here stomach. And I would say that that person who said the stomach is correct, because usually when you get something very fearful, you will have some disturbance on your digestive system. You will have some problem with the digestive system, and that's related to the stomach area. Of course, the heart may accelerate and everything like that, but the heart is accelerating because there is a lot of adrenaline. But adrenaline is not produced in the heart area, it's produced in the stomach area, in the navel area. So the heart is just reacting, accompanying what's happening. But what is really happening is it is happening in your stomach area. That's where the seat of fear is. So even though it's something mental, but it's related to that chakra, which is the chakra number 3. Okay, so thank you for your answers. And what happens is that all these chakras, all these, let's say, particularly the 5 lower chakras. Okay, somebody else is saying, that is true, that I have experienced that. Okay, so the 5 lower chakras, they are related to a number of these emotions or feelings, or what we call in yoga mental propensity. So it's not, let's say that mental substation or that chakra is related to that mental emotion or mental propensity. And if we want to have a balanced mind, we need to balance those propensities. Because like, if I want to meditate, but I have a lot of fear, I might not even be able to close my eyes, So we do need to work on those mental propensities in order to meditate deeply. And there are many of them, which I'm not going to go into the details now. But each of those propensities, they have a sound related to it. Sound is a very subtle vibration. And yogis discovered that there is an acoustic root or a sound related to each of those mental emotions or vibrations or propensities. So there is also a sound vibration. And they were able to, through deep introspection, find out which are those acoustic roots. And they found 50 of them, corresponding to 50 of these main emotions. And they found that those were distributed throughout these chakras. And that's how they started inventing the mantras. Now I bring here another figure. In this figure, I have represented with arrows. They are those propensities. They want to take the mind in different directions. And I have represented the letters of the mantra Bhavanam Kevalam. So now, the first letter, or the first syllable of the mantra is the Ba plus the long A, so it makes it Ba. So now this Ba, the Ba is on the second chakra, and the A is on the fifth. And then we go to the second syllable, which is the same, so it's again repeating. So it's working on those chakras. Then when you come with the Na, here the is a little, in Sanskrit there will be two, the letter A will have the and the A. More open and longer is the A, and a little bit closed is the So the first one was Ba, Ba, and then Na, Na. So that will be on the third chakra, the Na. And then will come the Ma, Nam. And that will be again in the second chakra. And then we go to Ke. Is the Ka will be here in the fourth chakra, and the will be in the fifth chakra. And then we go to Va, and the Va is on the first chakra. We go to La, which is on the second, and again the Ma, which is on the second. So now, as you see in the figure, all the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, all these chakras are touched by the sound of this mantra, Ba, Ba, Nam, Kevalam. So just by repeating the mantra, you are repeating these acoustic roots, and you are kind of balancing the chakras. So you are touching the chakra in such a way that you are harmonizing it just by repeating the mantra. So all the 5 chakras are being touched. And that's why I was saying that there is much more to the science of mantra than we can think of. And I just wanted to give one more point, but there is more about the science of mantra. It's a very complex, very deep, and very developed science. So just to come up with this mantra, Baba Nam Kevalam, it takes a very developed individual to create it. And when we use it in the meditation, it is having an effect on us that we may not think about it, but eventually, by using it regularly, we will notice that it is doing something to us. And we may not understand exactly why, but I wanted also to give another part of this science of mantra. Besides, it's helping the concentration, helping with the idea, and helping by keeping the mind and very soothing to the mind. It's also working on all the chakras. So by doing the meditation, you're also balancing your emotions. All right, so that was about the mantra. This next part of the class is about niyama. So far, I only talked about yama. Yama is related to an external entity, me and something external. But niyama is me, for me, is something internal. And this niyama are practices that calm the conscious mind. They facilitate the meditation. There are 5 points. Today I'm going to talk about one of them. It's the practice of shaucha. Shaucha means cleanliness or purity. And this cleanliness or purity, it can be physical, but it can also be mental. And physical, it can be external, outside, and it can be also internal. So the first one I will talk about is physical, external. Physical, external cleanliness. So I have to keep myself, in that case, what is external is the body. So I want to keep my body clean and pure. So the first thing that can come to mind is you can take a shower, take a bath, you are cleaning your body. Yes, that's one point. If you cannot take a full shower, we have another process that we call a half bath. It's not a full bath, it's not a full shower, it's half. This half is what? Most of the time I'm using my sensory organs, my eyes to see, my ears to hear, and I'm using my motor organs, the hands to touch, the feet to walk. So these parts of the body get more used up, warmed up, the energy doesn't flow, I feel tired. If I refresh my eyes, my ears, my tongue, my mouth, my hands, my feet, the navel area, the genital area, and that will refresh my whole body without taking a full bath or a shower. So that's what we call half bath. Another thing is the environment where I live, the room, my house, my area, I can also make an effort to keep it clean. So in that way, I'm keeping external cleanliness. We have to remember also internal cleanliness. What is internal? Something that will go inside my body. I'm going to drink something. I'm going to eat something. I have to think, what I'm eating, is it good for me or not? What I'm drinking, is it good for me or not? I need to have some control. Like when you enter into a country, you travel into a country, they will have the customs. And the customs, they will check what you are bringing into that country. They will allow or not allow. So we should have a customs officer checking whatever is coming into our body, is it good or not? So that's very important for physical cleanliness, internal. And then we have mental cleanliness. This mental, let's first see mental external. External mental cleanliness. It means everything that comes from outside enters into my mind. For example, I see something, I watch a movie, I listen to songs, I touch things. All that is coming into my mind, is it good for me or not? So I should keep that question and only allow vibrations that are good for my mind and keep out the vibrations that are not good for the mind. So whatever comes in from outside, have some control about it. And then there is mental cleanliness, internal. It is not something that's coming from outside, it's something that is already inside. As an example, I see my neighbor, and my neighbor just bought a new car. You know, this new electric car just came out, Tesla. My neighbor got one. So I see that, what happens in my mind? I become jealous. And then I'm going to meditate, and that is disturbing my mind, just jealousy. But the jealousy did not come from outside. I mean, my neighbor got a car. That has nothing to do with jealousy. The jealousy was already inside me. Now, what can I do about it? I need to keep my mind clean so I can create in my mind a different feeling by changing the way I think. For example, in this case, I can think, my neighbor is a very good friend of mine. If my friend got a new car, I feel happy about it. So that will change the feeling of jealousy into a more harmonious feeling of happiness. Now it's easier for me to meditate, to keep that feeling out of my mind. So in that way, we can work with all these feelings that come within us that are already there. Maybe they are triggered by something outside, but they are already within us. So that is the cleanliness, mental, internal. So there are four types of cleanliness. Physical, internal and external, mental, internal and external. And that makes the practice of Shaucha. and it depends only on us. It's something we do for ourselves. And that is a point of niyama, the first point of niyama. At this point, I will ask you another question. Let me see where it is here. Okay, here is the question. It is about shaucha. Were you already acquainted with these 4 types of cleanliness? I know most people are very acquainted with external cleanliness, means the body, the environment. Not in all the countries about the environment, but most people are acquainted. But sometimes people don't think about mental cleanliness. And sometimes they may think about mental cleanliness, but not about the external one, or not about the internal one. And some people, maybe they already studied this niyama, and then you know all of them. So let's see about the people who are present here. I get half of you have voted. I'm waiting for the other half. Just click on the one that you feel adjusts more to what you think, and then let's see the percentages here. We are almost in the 70%, is almost. So a few more votes I would request. Okay, some answers may be a little bit more complex, so I wait a little bit longer. And you can already go on preparing your own questions for today, because I'm reaching to the conclusion now and have just a short time for questions. Okay, let's close this one, share the results. I got here that 9% of you knew about the physical external only. 36% of you didn't know about the practice of external mental shaucha. The external is like something that is entering to your mind, like you're watching something, listening to something, whatever is entering to the mind through the senses. It's very important to not let anything that is detrimental to your mind to come in. So good. 9% didn't know about the internal one. Internal, yes, whatever is within you already comes out triggered by some event, or just comes out, means you feel in a certain way inside, but you have a hard time to balance the mind. And 45 already knew about all the 4 types. Great. All right, so I close this one. And the summary of today, we talked about the 3 qualities of the mantra. The mantra helps to concentrate, it gives you an idea, and it also has a nice vibration for the mind. We did some meditation. I emphasized to do it twice every day. I explained just a little bit further about the universal mantra, Bhavanam Kevalam. And I talked about 1 point of niyama, which is shaucha. A final review of our weekly practice: meditate every morning at least 5 minutes with the mantra Bhavanam Kevalam. If you meditate longer, if you have your personal individual practice, meditate longer, do it. But at least you will give 5 minutes, that's the minimum. Shaucha, practice these 4 types of shaucha. You can review the video, or maybe you took some notes, so you have these 4 points. See that everything that's coming to your mind is okay. the feelings that come from within your mind, if you have some control over them, and the physical one, whatever food or drink that goes inside, you know they are good for you. And okay, that's it for now. The course review I will do next time, and I go to the question and answers. Any questions? Okay, I have one comment here. I'm happy we talked about emotions today. I have been having trouble practicing ahimsa because of negative emotions so often come into my mind. All right, so these negative emotions are coming. The practice to avoid that is exactly shaucha. How to do it? Look for another feeling, like in the example I gave. The neighbor got the car, so now you're becoming jealous. So you have to superimpose another feeling to it. So you kind of feel that, no, this is my neighbor. It's a good thing he got this car. He's my friend, it's my neighbor. Then you start feeling positive that he got that car, and the jealousy goes away. So in the same way, if you are having such type of feeling in your mind, maybe because some friend, some relative, some family member is doing something, look for another feeling that you can superimpose to that. Suppose it's your son or your daughter, then you can say, oh, but it's my daughter, she's still very young, she's still learning, and maybe this is a chance I can teach her something. So it kind of changes your frame of mind. So look for a feeling to counteract that emotion that is coming. And then if you are doing the meditation, you will also be working on all these emotions unknowingly just by repeating the mantra. And you will notice that after some time, it will be easier for you to control that feeling. Okay. Another question here. Is just changing the thoughts and feelings the form enough to transform the energy? Isn't there a way to transmutate or transform completely the energy? You see, you are working in different ways. One way is, as I mentioned, you are repeating the mantra. And the mantra is working in a very subtle way on those emotions, on those feelings, okay? But if that emotion or that feeling is very conscious to you, and as in the example that I gave, you easily found out that, okay, what is creating it is that I'm seeing this neighbor and he got success, and I'm jealous because he was successful. So that's an easy one. You just have to change the feeling towards the neighbor. Then you say, okay, it's my friend. So just by applying the idea of friendship, you transform the feeling. So that one was not that difficult. So in other more complex situations, it may be a little bit more difficult, but that's one method that you can do. And the other method so far is the practice of meditation. But in the yogic practice, there are some more methods. We are going to talk more about it as we move along. Okay, here is another question. Is there a way to easier recognize the difference of energy from the outside and inside? Sometimes I have some difficulty with knowing when it's mine, what I feel in my energy, and what's not. Okay, so look, for example, in the shaucha, okay, internal and external. External is like this. I see a very, let's say, violent movie, for example, very violent movie. So what that is doing to my mind? It's creating a certain vibration in my mind. I'm reacting to it. And maybe I'm becoming very disturbed by it. So I know it's something that is coming from outside, disturbing my mind. In the second example I gave, you are seeing a neighbor. This neighbor has a new car. That's just a very normal thing. It shouldn't create anything in my mind. And I'm getting jealousy. So the jealousy is not coming neither from the car, neither from the neighbor. It's already inside me. In the other case, you are seeing a violent movie, so that violent scene and is creating the violent reaction. So it's coming from outside. But the car and the neighbor, that shouldn't create jealousy. So that's something from outside. So in the two different cases, in one case, what to do? You avoid seeing that movie. Then you are avoiding that those vibrations are entering into you. In the second case, you have to change something that is within you. You have to work on it, that it doesn't get triggered. So you have to change this jealousy that is within you. And then this jealousy is also a mental propensity, tendency, a mental emotion that is related to the chakras. So by doing the mantra, working on the chakras, you are working on that also. Okay. I don't see any questions anymore. We already reached to the time, so I'm going to end the webinar. Thank you very much for participating. I hope you can attend live next week. It's always better to attend live, but I know some people at different time zones, they cannot, they watch the video. But if you can make the time to attend live, it's good. See you next week. You get the recording. This is our website, the pathofbliss.com. Facebook page, facebook.com/POB-meditation. Then you have my website, dadas.info. And the YouTube channel, if you type my name, just search it with my name, you will find different videos. And you can maybe watch some other videos about other topics. Great, thank you, and namaskar.